Trust is a fragile thing. For years, one woman turned it into her most powerful weapon. This is the chilling story of Am Sararat, Thailand's deadliest serial killer, and how she poisoned her way into infamy. In a case that has gripped Thailand and the world, Sararat Rungsivuttaporn, infamously known as Am Cyanide, is accused of masterminding a series of murders spanning nearly a decade. Her victims, 14 people at last count, were not strangers but people who trusted her, friends, acquaintances, even romantic partners. Today we uncover the chilling relationships that enabled her crimes and the devastating impact on those who fell into her web of deceit. When Siraporn Kanwang, known to her friends as Koi, joined her longtime friend Sararat Rungsivuttaporn, better known as Am, for a Buddhist merit-making trip, she was seeking good karma. Instead, she met a tragic end. Poisoned with cyanide by the very woman she had trusted for over a decade, Koi's death would become the key to unraveling a chilling string of murders that had gone unnoticed for years. Koi, a 32-year-old mother and businesswoman from Kanchanaburi province, was vibrant, generous, and full of life. She didn't hesitate when Am invited her on a trip to release fish into the river, a ritual believed to bring good karma. It was supposed to be a peaceful day. Koi's parents were devastated. Their healthy, vibrant daughter was gone, and her death didn't make sense. Adding to their suspicion was the discovery that Koi's purse containing $1,400, her iPhone 14 Pro Max, and her car were missing. And the person with her at the time had left the scene shortly after. The family's insistence led authorities to review CCTV footage, revealing Am acting suspiciously. She was seen pacing near the car, retrieving an item, and leaving shortly after Koi collapsed. When questioned, Am denied being there, but the footage proved otherwise. As police investigated Koi's death, a horrifying pattern emerged. They discovered at least 14 other victims, all connected to Am. These weren't strangers, they were friends, acquaintances, and even romantic partners, all of whom trusted her and paid for that trust with their lives. Among Am's victims was her boyfriend, Mr. Day. A charming man in his 40s, Day met Am on a dating app and quickly became infatuated with her. The two grew close, and Am claimed she was pregnant with his child. But just a month before Koi's death, Day collapsed suddenly and died at home. His death was initially ruled as cardiopulmonary failure. Shockingly, on the very night of Day's death, Am went out to celebrate her birthday with friends. She showed no signs of grief or remorse, posting smiling photos of herself enjoying her evening. Days later, she sold Day's gold jewelry and took control of his properties. At the time, no one questioned her actions because they believed she was pregnant with Day's child. But Day wasn't the only romantic partner Am targeted. Police suspect she used similar methods to eliminate other boyfriends and acquaintances who either loaned her money or possessed valuable assets. Koi and Day were just two of many victims. Another victim was Naya, a woman who pawned her Honda Civic on Am's advice. Hours after the transaction, Naya was found dead in her bathroom. Her death was attributed to respiratory failure, but further investigation revealed cyanide poisoning. Then there was Nipa, a police officer who trusted Am enough to loan her money. Nipa joined Am for a fortune-telling ceremony at a temple, where she collapsed and died shortly after. Her death, too, was linked to cyanide poisoning. In each case, Am gained financially, through life insurance payouts, stolen assets, or pawned goods. Investigators uncovered that most victims had darkened nails, a telltale sign of cyanide poisoning, which Am relied on to make their deaths appear natural. On April 23, 2023, just 9 days after Koi's death, police arrested Am Sararat. At the time, Am was at her home, reportedly preparing for a quiet evening. She was 4 months pregnant, a revelation that added another twist to the case. Despite her condition, Am remained calm during the arrest, as if she believed she could manipulate her way out of the accusations. During her arrest, Am initially denied any involvement in Koi's death. However, searches of her home and car uncovered chilling evidence: capsules of cyanide, empty pill bottles, and items linking her to other suspicious deaths over the years. Investigators also unearthed financial records and communication trails directly connecting her to her victims. Despite the mounting evidence, Am continued to deny all charges, offering bizarre explanations, including the claim that her victims had requested cyanide themselves. Yet the case against her was overwhelming. As of November 20th, 2024, Am has been found guilty of premeditated murder in the first of 14 trials. She has been sentenced to death for the murder of Koi and ordered to pay 2 million baht in compensation to Koi's family. In addition to murder, Am faced charges of financial fraud and manipulation. Her ex-husband, a former police officer, was sentenced to prison for concealing evidence, and her lawyer was convicted for advising on destroying evidence. These sentences only further revealed the depth of Am's deception. Am Sararat's story is a chilling reminder of how trust can be weaponized. Her victims were people who believed in her, friends, partners, and acquaintances. In return, she betrayed them in the most devastating way possible. Her crimes exposed serious flaws in Thailand's regulation of toxic substances and highlighted the devastating consequences of misplaced trust. But the grief and loss she caused are wounds that no justice can ever fully heal. Am's case isn't just about murder, it's about manipulation, greed, and the devastating consequences of misplaced trust. Let this be a warning. Sometimes the people closest to us are the ones we should watch most carefully. What do you think drove Am to commit such horrifying crimes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this story as shocking as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true stories that must be told.